All right, what if I told you right now that 4 ultra-wealthy tech bros are gathered at a Utah mountaintop mansion plotting to take over governments they think fail to appreciate their brilliance? Don't worry, it's not real, but in today's climate, it certainly sounds like it could be plausible. It's actually the premise of a new satirical movie, Mountainhead, streaming now on HBO and Max. It stars Ramy Youssef, Steve Carell, Corey Michael Smith, and Jason Schwartzman. Here's a quick clip showing the access the uber wealthy have to the highest levels of power in our government.
It's the prez. The president wants to speak to us.
Like, what could he possibly have to say?
I mean, maybe it's the Balkans.
Look, it doesn't matter what he says, it's what we say. Nations are teetering, politically and economically, and I think that we play a role.
Joining us now to discuss this, my good friend Ramy Youssef, actor and comedian who stars in Mountainhead. He is currently on his Love Beam 7000 tour. Ramy, it's great to see you.
So good to see you, man.
Yeah. This is kind of weird, but I have to say, but it's good to have you here on the show.
I know, it's really good to see you.
So it's kind of surreal to think of a president of the United States talking to the CEOs of the tech world in the way that you guys captured in this movie, right? The access that the president has. But it's actually a real dynamic that is unfolding in real time, and we're also seeing that bromance fall apart in real time as well. How difficult is it when you're watching movies and art mimic life and trying to capture that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think we could have gotten a better promotional hit for this show than the Twitter war that's happened over the last couple days. And, you know, we had a really surreal experience because our phone, you know, on set, we didn't have our real phones. So we'd be in the mountain house and we'd have these phones that were loaded with movie news storylines. And then we'd go home at night and I'd have my real phone, but I think I had my movie phone because the storylines were exactly the same in this way that was really wild. And I think a lot of, you know, Jesse Armstrong's writing is super prescient, and I think that's why he wanted it to come out so quickly. I mean, we made this film over the course of 5 weeks,
right,
and then he had about a couple of weeks to finish editing it and get it out as quickly as we did.
Can you say a little bit more about what Eamon is referring to, life imitating art and art imitating life? I don't want to give away too much in the film, but what are the storylines that you feel like are reminiscent of what's going on today?
At the center of the film, an AI has gone wild, and it's an interpretive AI that basically takes text and turns it into hyper-realistic video almost immediately, and there's a reality collapse. So people don't know what's real and what's fake, and that starts to affect the way the world goes, and there's an incredible amount of violence that occurs because of that. And so you're watching a group of tech guys who've created this thing kind of go, oh, what did we make and what did we do? And then you kind of see them, I would say, get a bit arrogant and think, well, you know, maybe we could run the world and fix it all.
And I was going to say really quickly, we don't have an app for that yet, but we have a president of the United States who's holding up pictures that he doesn't know whether they're real or not, whether like it's a picture of a detainee with MS-13 on his hand, that's fake, or posting pictures, or sharing pictures, I should say, holding up a picture of what he claims to be a white genocide in South Africa, and it turned out to be not a real picture of a genocide or in South Africa.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's something that you never could have seen doing your character research, a moment like that. Can you talk a little bit about what you did to inhabit this role? Did you go full method tech billionaire? How did you do it? Like, what'd you do to research and prepare?
Well, it was really funny. I started doing some research on the tech guys, and then I started to feel like I don't really find any of them interesting enough to actually sit and study and model a character around. But what I did see was that there's this, you know, these guys are really talented, actually, at what they do, but then the part that's missing is social. And so in a lot of ways, they reminded me of myself when I was like 13. And so I kind of played my character as if I was my own 13-year-old self, but also with a lot of money. And what would that look like if you kind of had this super underdeveloped guy, you know, trying to run the world?
So your character, I viewed as the most sympathetic of the 4 main characters. Again, I'm trying to figure out how to ask you this without giving away what happens. But do you think your character is a good guy? Maybe tell us a little bit about who he is.
Well, you know, he has an AI that seemingly knows a fake from a reel, seemingly can tell a joke. And so on a level, he seems to kind of care about the way this technology should work. But at the same time, he's also trying to leverage that for his financial advantage. And that's the part that in some ways makes me almost feel like he might be the worst character involved, because he seems to understand they keep saying like the POV of the common man.
Right.
Like they definitely view people as if they are just this separate class from what they can do. And he's tapped into it, but then he really doesn't do anything good with that information. So, yeah.
So in the movie, AI obviously is such a central part of this. And I'm wondering, in terms of the reality that we live in right now, AI has played a very important role in ongoing wars. We're certainly seeing AI being deployed in the war in Gaza by Israel. It's created a lot of backlash here within companies that are working with AI, whether it's Microsoft or others. What did you learn about where AI is right now in our society? Because some people are constantly pushing it as a tool for good, but as we're seeing also, it can be a very destructive tool if kept unregulated.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of the thing that's at play in the film, obviously, and that we're dealing with in real life. Our research, and Jesse Armstrong, who, created Succession and wrote and directed this film, he is so good at research. It's inspiring. I mean, the way that he reads and devours and what he was passing on to us. And we had a dossier of where the tech is at now and where it's going to go. And it was honestly laid out in this way that I don't think I would have ever seen so clearly had I not done the movie. And all that to say, it's moving incredibly fast. It's already out of the box, so there's no stopping it. And I think anyone who thinks it might stop or just die out, that's not going to occur. And so I think it does turn into this question of, how will it be regulated? Because it has to, and I think just for people's safety. And I think part of what we play in this movie is the themes around, well, what do the guys that we're negotiating look like exactly? And can they actually come to the table and, it's kind of hard.
Great, totally comforting that there might be 10 years of no regulation.
Yeah, and I would say this is kind of like a comfort watch for the weekend. If anyone's kind of looking to just kind of hang with their family.
I was going to say, how many members of our Congress know what AI is? I mean, I think
they still don't understand.
Or A1,
A1,
as some have called it, the hot sauce, A1 steak sauce.
Our Secretary of Education called it A1.
A1,
yes, like the steak sauce.
All right.